Hi friends, Jacqueline here hopping on. I want to talk about 2021 and what we can expect. Okay, so we know last year the major theme was the stellium of planets in Capricorn. Capricorn is structures on Earth, and the planets just wreaked havoc within structures on Earth. We saw how that played out. 2021, the major news is that Jupiter and Saturn have moved into Aquarius. I talked about this in my last video. Aquarian energy is very it's an air energy. It's thought forms. It's wild card. It's kind of anything goes. It's unbound. It's unformed, which is really beautiful because it means so much possibility. Possibility is kind of built into it. And we have Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn being the opposite, really, structure, to do, how to, taskmaster, get it done, get the lessons done, learn this, master this. So there's a little bit of an opposing energy, even just having Saturn in Aquarius, even though Saturn rules Aquarius. There's a little bit of a bound energy pulling on an unbound energy. And then the big news up this year is the Saturn in Aquarius squaring Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is the great awakener. Uranus comes in without warning. It's a lightning strike. It's not something that we see coming, and it brings big shifts of awareness and awakening. And Uranus doesn't care how it's going to bring that awakening to you. You might learn about material possessions from winning the lottery or having your house burned down. Uranus doesn't care. It's a neutral energy. It's going to bring that awakening to you. However, it's going to serve however it needs to be served for you to get that teaching. So expect the unexpected. And then Uranus in Taurus. Taurus is this very heavy earth, grounded energy. Think of a bull, very heavy, stubborn, moves very slowly. So we've got this wild card energy, anything can happen, and it usually does, in this very grounded, almost resistant energy, squaring Saturn in Aquarius. And squares are, again, not a comfortable energy. It's an opposition energy. It's hard edges meeting up against one another and neither giving. So that's the energy of the year. That's what we've got. We will learn these lessons of awakening that we must learn. We don't have an option. Our option of sticking our head in the sand expired a couple years ago. So we get to go through this. We get to awaken. We get to figure out new ways. We get to learn how to serve humanity, really, with our choices. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be comfortable. Another theme of this year is Pluto. Pluto is still in Capricorn. Pluto will stay in Capricorn through 2024. He retrogrades out briefly in end of 22, beginning of 23, and then moves out of Capricorn into Aquarius in 24. So Pluto, the Lord of the underworld, who shows us the hidden aspects of the reality, still tearing shit up in Capricorn. So the energy of the shadow aspects being revealed. And also there is a asteroid in play called Boracity, which is the archetype of false light. So all of these false teachers, false prophets, false thought forms, these will continue to be revealed. And that's very good for us. Ultimately, it's for our good. It can be painful. As I experienced last year when with Kundalini Yoga and Yogi Bhajan. That was a very painful realization, and yet for my highest good, for the greater good, obviously. So this is what we're working with. This is the energy. We will create these new forms. It will not necessarily come easy. The divine feminine is all woven up. The awakening continues. That energy is building on Earth. Not in any easy way. The road is not easy. It's like that REM song, 8 Miles of Bad Road. That's what we've got. We've got 8 miles of bad road, but at least we have a road, right? We'd be grateful for anything we get. So building bridges to bring the polarity closer, finding ways to connect and build bridges with others as opposed to opposing them. Compromise instead of conflict, speaking up for what is right, speaking up against injustice in a way that isn't conflictual. So a perfect example of this happened to me at the post office a few weeks ago. A gentleman was wanting the tiny little Latino lady, postal worker behind the counter, to do something for him that she was explaining to him was illegal. She couldn't do it. And he just got louder and louder, ultimately yelling that she didn't understand what he was saying, when really he wasn't understanding what she was saying because she was not giving him the answer he wanted. And so he was standing right next to me, and I finally said, sir, first, that's a human being you're speaking to. And secondly, she cannot do what you're asking. It would be illegal. And, it seems you need a postal stamp, and I have one right here in my wallet. I'm happy to give to you. And he huffed and puffed and left, and the postal workers thanked me for saying something because, they obviously didn't feel empowered to say anything. And there's a way to do it. I offered to help him. I just reminded him he was, human being to human being, reminded him of his humanity, and offered him help in the form of a stamp that he didn't have and didn't want to buy and was willing to yell at this woman for 40 cents. So we get to do that now. We don't get to look away anymore. We have to stand up in a way that honors the humanity of the one we're standing up for and honors the humanity of the one we're standing up against. It has to be a bridge, right? This isn't easy work, and it's the best work. And I will continue to talk about the energies of 2021. There's more, and just realize it's going to be a little hard. The peak energy of this turmoil, polarization. The polarization really, if we break it down, is between the old world and the new world, the old paradigm and the new paradigm. It's about entrenched ways of thinking versus new, modern, futuristic, Aquarian ways of thinking, right? So this is what the pull is. The peak of that energy is going to be February, June, and December of this year. So just be ready for it, be looking for it. Be doing your healing work. Awakening healing is the engine of awakening. Healing work leads us to awaken. Okay. For me personally, I've had a little resistance to doing the circles, mainly because of what I went through last year with regards to Kundalini Yoga, when I just kind of had to examine all of my belief systems and really look at them through a critical thinking lens, and most of them disintegrated very disturbingly. And so I really was sort of in a place of thinking, is it even in integrity for me to be a teacher? And finally got some clarity that yes, I am going to continue these circles. There is a benefit to them. The women who come and gather in the 3D, we do amazing work together, and the ones that work with us in the unseen as well. And we will continue to muddle through the Zoom, and we will meet in person as we can, and they will be greatly changed, I'm guessing, in the 3D, just because of how I am greatly changed. And I'm excited for those new avenues of exploration with you. And yeah. So hang in there. Do your work. Be brave. Be courageous. Pull up out of your positionality. Uproot your positionality and float in curiosity. This is my theme. This is my little post-it note up at my desk this year. Float in curiosity. Notice yourself when you're positional and question every aspect of it. we're typically positional because somehow we are offered safety in that belief system. So be willing, find a safe place here, and be willing to enter into the very scary territory of not knowing. Be in the energy of curiosity. Know that all is well and you're always held, and that inquiry and getting all eyes on it can only serve you. Get off of your positionality. When you're on social media, be very, very mindful that you're in an echo chamber. Be very, very mindful that you're only being shown what you've already shown a proclivity to like and agree with. So no truth is going to come from within that echo chamber. The truth exists outside of that echo chamber. Just become aware of that. So I think that's it. Be well. Love yourself. Be gentle. Be kind. I'll see you out there.